Ilia Topuria, currently ranked number 14 in the featherweight division, took to Twitter and posted a picture of his abs and calling out Bryce Mitchell. Here's Bryce Mitchell's response to Ilia Topuria's call out.
I see I'm getting called out by Ilia Topuria now to fight. He wants to go on Twitter and post a picture of his abs, his little perfect 8-pack or whatever. Hey buddy, you see this? You see that, buddy? I've been eating peanut butter cookies for like 3 weeks now, and I'll still get off my couch and whoop your ass, buddy. I don't give a damn about them abs. Let's go, buddy. I'm tired of you putting my name in your mouth. Shouldn't have done it.
Conor McGregor posted a picture of his physique on Twitter. A fan commented, "What happened to your neck?" To which Conor responds, "It got huge." Another fan asks McGregor when he will be fighting again. Conor replied, "Whenever I want." In a reply to Carissa Shields' tweet, Conor says, "You've way more venom than Floyd. I beat Floyd if we rematch. Untold truth, it was me who carried him the early rounds playing Petey Patty. Every single shot I threw early landed. From body to head, I was playing ping pong. I come out full force, and today I end Floyd." Michael Bisping on his podcast compared Khabib Nurmagomedov and Charles Oliveira's career and thinks if Oliveira beats Islam Makhachev, he's the greatest lightweight of all time.
Here's the case for Khabib. His record 29, 13-0 in the UFC, as I said, and he was one of the most dominant fighters that the UFC had ever seen. In 60 career rounds, this man only lost 2 rounds. Round 1 versus Justin Gaethje, very, very close. And round 3 versus Conor McGregor, again, very, very close. He was never knocked down, and he was never even rocked. The closest was a brief moment once against Michael Johnson. He was only taken down once in his entire career versus Abel Trujillo at UFC 180. Khabib also outlanded all of his opponents, on average 2-1. Not bad for a wrestler. Khabib landed the second most takedowns in division history at 59, and no other world champion came anywhere close to that number. Now, of course, the biggest fight that he had, UFC 229 against Conor McGregor, went out there, massive grudge match, let his emotions get the better of him at the end, but he went out there, dominated that fight generally, and got the finish in round 4 via rear naked choke. Of course, Justin Gaethje had a, not tough, but he probably lost that first round, as I said earlier, but came back in style, got it with the guillotine choke in 2, and of course choked out Dustin Poirier to unify the belt and take that interim title off Dustin Poirier in round 3. So listen, we never saw him lose to anyone, and he was so dominant it's hard to imagine him losing to anyone. All we ever saw was him win and dominate people, but he retired at 32 years old, okay, after 3 title defenses and 2.5 years as the champion of the world. Now that is fantastic, but if he'd have stuck around longer, would we have seen him lose the belt? Would we have seen him get challenged? We just never know. And that is only one of the real arguments for Khabib not being the pound for pound number 1. He retired at 32 years old after 3 title defenses and 2.5 years as champion. That's amazing. Retired undefeated, but the reality is, the reason we asked the question is that he didn't stick around long enough. And we know why. It was a very honourable reason. He made a promise to his mother and he stuck to that, and wow, what a guy. What a guy, and I respect that so much. But that's a different thing. Would he have beaten all these top new contenders? He beat some of them. Would he have beaten Charles? The reality is we don't know. We can only imagine. Now, there is a chance, by the way, that if Islam gets defeated from Charles Oliveira, you never know, we might see Khabib come back. All right, now let's make a case for Charles Oliveira. First of all, if he beats Islam Makhachev, okay, he has equaled the lightweight title defenses of Khabib Nurmagomedov, but the way that he's doing it, Charles is in the record books for so many reasons, okay? Finished the most fights in UFC history, 19. The most subs in UFC history at 16. He has the most fight bonuses in UFC history at 18. And he is closing in on the most wins in UFC history. He's got 21 right now. Currently the record is Jim Miller at 24. So Charles's record against top talent also is probably equal, perhaps better, than Khabib's. Oliveira's beat in a row Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, Poirier and Gaethje. Now fans, they always say that they're better wins than what Khabib had over Al Iaquinta, Conor, Poirier and Gaethje. There's a lot of similar names on there. The reality is, who is the GOAT? Who is the best? Well, Charles, he lost 8 times. He lost 8 times. Khabib never lost. And that is a big factor, okay? But it was at a different weight class. That was at 145. Do we eradicate that? Do we forget about that? I don't think we do. A big question is, who would win the fight? If Khabib and Oliveira fought right now, who would win? It's hard to imagine Khabib losing. It's also hard to imagine Oliveira losing, although he does get clipped and dropped in almost every single fight. So this is just one of those things. You know, Khabib is loved, revered, and I have so much respect for the man. So this video is not in any way an attack or trying to take away, but it's an interesting talking point because lightweight has got the most eyes on it in the UFC, and whoever is the champion is one of the most best technical fighters. Simple as that. Khabib's the man, Khabib the eagle, Khabib wrestles with bears, Charles walks with lions. The greatest lightweight of all time though? I think if Charles beats Islam this weekend, I think that belongs to Charles now. I really do. I really do. I think he will have surpassed him simply because he's taking out all the top contenders, and it's not Khabib's fault. I talked about that earlier. But you cannot deny the numbers, the momentum, the history that Oliveira's making. Still, as I say, it's totally subjective. It's all an opinion. What do you think? Is Khabib the GOAT? Does he get to gloat? Does he get to say that he's the greatest lightweight of all time? Or is it Dude Bronx, Charles Oliveira?
Here's a video of Team Makhachev walked by Team Oliveira. Deontay Wilder gives an emotional speech after his KO win over Robert Helenius.
Man, my only concern is I always have concern for all fighters. You know, I'm a big advocate for fighters because, like I always say, we get done wrong. This is not a sport. A sport is something you play. You don't play this. And we risk our lives for you guys' entertainment. And I speak that forever, you know. But when you have a relationship with a man, you know, when you love a man, you know, when you build a friendship with another man, although he's thousands of miles away from where I am, you know, when you see things like that, man, you want to come to the aid. You know, I wanted to come to his aid, but they wouldn't let me, and I understood because he needed space. But you know, my heart goes out to him, and I hope he's doing okay. He can be able to go back to his family because this is a tough business that we're in. That's why I tell people you gotta respect all fighters. You know, people always go about worrying about records and all this. He lost, or he's a bum and all that. Well, you get your bum ass in there then. And let's see who's the bomb, really. Because you don't play this. You can't play this. So we demand respect at all times. Every fighter that step in the ring, I don't care what the record is. I don't care who they are or where they come from. It demands respect because if not, then you see things like that happen. And then oh, that's a good knock. Yeah, it's a great knockout. It's devastating, making history and stuff like that. But how much that man gonna suffer? He may be all right now, a little bit, but what about the next day? What about 2 weeks from now? What about a month from now? Maybe years from now? And we seeing what happened. Look at Cologne.
Talking about Pritchard Cologne.
Richard Cologne. There's Pritchard Cologne.
Yep.
Correct. This man ain't have no kids. They don't understand, man. Y'all don't fucking understand what we go through, man. And I don't even know him like that. But I always be an advocate for us because this man would never know what it feel like to be somebody's father. And that's some of the precious thing in the world, to be somebody's father. But he'll never be nobody's father, man. This man will never have a natural childhood ability of living again because he got in the ring to support his family. But now, his family got to take care of him for the rest of his life. He probably would have the breadwinner of his family. And now they looking, seeking for help and shit like that. I can say so much about it. That's why you can't play this. This is serious. We don't know is Robert gonna be the same after this. I just did a job. I'm great at what I do. I don't mean to take people away from their lifestyle of living. I'm just trying to support my family as well. This is what we signed up to do. And unfortunately, there's a winner and there's a loser, and sometimes it's a draw. But who take up on that responsibility when they can't work no more? Robert could be the breadwinner of his family. But what if he can't do it no more? Then what? Who pays the bill? Who pays the mortgage? He got kids. Who will look out for his kids? Because we all know when you lose and when it ain't going right, those same people that when you win, they kiss you and say they love you. They ain't there for you no more. Where they at? You understand me?